What is up, everyone? It is DJ Martini Midwest Reviews coming at you with another video for my channel. Today we have a little mini gaming handheld console that we're going to talk about. It's going to be a really quick, easy, simple video today. Just go over a few things and let you know if it's good or good enough today in the video. So there's no actual name for this. It is actually just like a cloned type. It's called an X1. It is a little handheld game console that I got for 40 bucks, and I thought that was extremely cheap. I mean, just for the game content itself. And so we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the ins, outs, pros and cons, and show you a little bit if you're interested in something like this for your kid, or even as an adult. It does have a lot of games that are pretty cool that you can play, but we definitely want to talk about it just in case you're interested, if you want to go there or not, because it is $40, and sometimes I do say you get what you pay for, and there's definitely some pros and cons on it. So we're going to get into it today on this X1 little handheld gaming console from China. All right, so just real quick, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. DJ Martini Midwest Reviews. If you never tuned in, just know I love to do videos on reviews and tutorials, and I'm just here to help do that research for you, so you don't have to. Give it to you as easy as possible, and then leave some links in case you're interested in some of the products that we talk about. So thank you guys so much. So this was the really inexpensive one that I found for $40. I found one for something a little bit more expensive. I've also done some reviews on some handheld consoles before. Some big names like the X1 or the PlayStation Portable, or GPDs, Steam Deck, things like that. I've definitely done other reviews on handhelds gaming, but I wanted to get some really inexpensive ones and tell you some decent ones that I have found. And so I have a couple. This one's on the uh, cheaper side, but so far so good, and a lot of people gave it some bad reviews, and I just want to say it's not unusable. It is usable, but we're definitely going to go into it. So okay, so this is the item here, right here, and I always go with what's in the box. You can see here's the color. I did get black, but they do have blue and red and white and like a off switch colors. If you were to do that in the box, you get basically some really cheap headphones, and you get the charging cable, which is USB Type C, so it does have newer charging, so it's not super old. On the sticker, it actually says it was made in January of 2025, according to the label here, but that could just be a label. But that's about it. It does have all the functions on the back of what it does, and it is labeled everything. It has everything that you would need for that. We're going to go into that in just a second. I want to show the actual item right here. And so it does have that old school PSP, for those who knows what a PSP is, a PlayStation Portable. But it does have that look, and the screen is 4.5. It says 4.3 from the listing that I bought it at, and I'll show you that. I did get it on eBay, but they do have these on Amazon as well, so I'll leave links for both. But it said it's 4.3, but I measured it and it is 4.5. So it's a 4.5 inch screen here, and it does look like a PlayStation Portable. And just to show you that, I lugged out my PlayStation Portable here, and you can see that literally it is very close. This is a little bit bigger, but this is a PlayStation Portable, a real old school PlayStation Portable that still works. That's awesome. But very cool on that. But it looks very similar. Is what the look they were trying to go for there. Anyways, yeah, it's all black. And it does smudge really easily, and the screen smudges really easily. For 40 bucks, I'm not really worried about it. But it does say X1 on the bottom there. And like I said, you can see all the smudges and stuff on the sides, but because it is really shiny. And then on the top, it does have some more features here. The on and off, the charging USB. It does have that card point here, so you can put your micro SD card in it. It does have the output for headphones. It does have a little reset button, so it has a reset button on the top here, and then you have your volume uh, buttons up here. This is the 8 gig model, but I did see they have a 16 gig model and possibly a 32 gig model, so you get a lot more games on there. But this did come with an 8 gig micro SD card, and it said it had 10,000 games on it. So, okay. So it is very cheap. This is like extreme, like feather light compared to a nice PlayStation Portable. This has some weight to it. I don't even want to toss this but super light, a little bit rattly, you can hear, but the buttons work very good in my opinion. And everything is kind of smooth with this. So we're going to go ahead and fire it up and take a look at it. I just want to show you the instruction booklet. Like I said, right here, it is all in Chinese, but it does have an English section on the bottom here. So it does have a nice pair of instructions, so you can definitely look at that. And it does just say Handheld Gaming Console. So very cool. Let's go over the specs real quick that I saw. Like I said, there's lots of clones of these. So they have said it's an X7 model or an X1 model, 4.5-inch screen. They also make these in 4.3-inch screen is what they said on the thing, but it is 4.5. It does show 10,000 games. Rechargeable does have that micro SD card, and you can load your own games and take that SD card out and put things on it. So you can load more games on this if you wanted to on the 8 gig. And I think that's about it. It does come in those colors that I said: black, blue, red, switch colors, and white. So, all right, let's go ahead and I'll bring you down to the table and take a quick look at it. Go ahead and take a look at this thing a little bit closer. Like I said, you can see everything. We'll go ahead. It has an on switch, and you just turn it on. And it has a little blue light. It is rechargeable, so you definitely want to go ahead and charge it up. But it fires up. It does have some volume here. We'll turn the volume up a little bit. You can hear that. Hear the click in the volume. And then, like I said, it does have all these. Now it does. Let's see if I can. There we go. It does have these games on it. And this is main. It's going to be Game Boy Advance, classic games, Game Boy, Game Boy Color. Other is just like other formats. And then what is MD? I'm not sure what MD stands for. But you can see it does have all these games on here. And some of them, like I said, are definitely clones. So they're like, there might be like 50 versions of the same games in the different systems here. But tons of games here, guys. Yeah, there's tons of games. There is some games that I have been playing a lot, but all of them have been working. There are a few that haven't, so you like go into them and they just won't load, so you just have to exit back. But you do have like the history. It'll show you what games you've been playing. I've been trying all kinds of games out here. Really like the Metal Slug. There's some Metal Slug on here. You can put movies on here and music, and you can put an ebook on here, tools. There's some settings that you can go into, brightness, your LCD, contrast. You can see that the screen's not terrible. Music, background, photos. I can show you that I do have some movies loaded up on here. Um, and some videos. I don't really want to play the videos with the music because I'll probably get copyright, so I don't want to do that. But it does load them up here, and I do have music on here too. So I can put music on it, and it'll play it. It has a music player and a video player, and it will play all the things you want it to. Let's go ahead and just load up a game. This Journey to the West, I am addicted to this game. This is some kind of Chinese game, but I love it. And it loads up. You can hear the volume. It does have some volume on here. The date on this is wrong, but still good. Now, the speakers do sound cheap, but still sounds usable. Go to start. You can use your sticks to pick a player here. And turn the volume down here. But it does have the clicky sounds, but everything works pretty good. Like, use my special move. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But yes, tons of games, very cool content, all working. And then when you're done, you can just hit the escape button right here. And then you can decide to exit. And you just have to press back. And you can go pick a different game. So it's pretty easy to get in and out of. Like I said, it does have tons of games. A lot of them, like I said, are copies on each one, but definitely a lot of games. And like I said, the other is like your files. View in there, Sonic, Terminator. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of games on here. Very cool. I like it. Like I said, I can also watch a movie on it, and it's like so light, so portable. The screen's not terrible. It is a little hard viewing angles a little bit, but it's not super terrible. So, and the battery life, I played a game for at least an hour the other night, and I had no problem. It still had a little bit of battery left. So, if I think it lasts about 2 to 3 hours, I think that's plenty of time. And then go ahead and charge it up, and then it's ready to go again. So this for 40 bucks is not bad in my opinion. Like I said, all the buttons work, all the controllers work. They don't feel fantastic, but they do work. All the buttons are clicky, but like I said, it just works. It just works, and at least this one does. So far so good. All right, I think that's all I want to show you. And then, like I said, if you just want to turn it off, then you just hit the off button and it'll start powering off. So pretty cool there. But this is the X1 right here. All right, guys. So let's talk about pros and cons. Pros for sure is the price point at $40. This one you can actually find on Amazon for 36 to about $50. There's different types and clones and all kinds of versions of this, but it's pretty much the same thing. And for that price, $36, you can do a lot with this for that. It has a lot of games, it has a lot of copy titles, but it does have a lot of games on it. It also has a video player, a music player. You can put an ebook in it, so you could, put that on there too and read a book and save some battery life on your actual device. The screen is decent. It's not the best quality, but it's decent enough to play the games, watch the movies, and do things. The battery will last a movie length, so about 2 hours. So you can definitely watch movies on it and then go ahead and charge it. So yeah, it charges pretty quickly. No issues with that. That memory card, it's only 8 gigs, but it was enough for me to add a few more things on it, so no problem there. If you wanted to make it bigger, you could just copy it to a bigger uh, micro SD card and then put it back in there, and then you have more space on that card. So you can go all the way up to the 32 gig memory because they actually offer that on this. So you might be able to go bigger. I haven't tested that, but yes. So it does have a lot of options. That 3.5 millimeter jack, so you can hook headphones to it, listen to it. The speakers on it work. They don't sound fantastic, but they work pretty decent. Have some volume to them. You know, All the buttons just work. The screen is 4.5, like I said, and pretty cool little device actually for that price point. And so that's all the cool positives on it. So it wouldn't be me if I didn't go over a couple of negatives, of course. And of course, a lot of people said that this thing is super cheap feeling, and it is. It really does. It's super light, super cheap feeling, little rattly, but it just works. And so I'm okay with that if it works. And so the buttons are clicky, all the controllers work, and so I wasn't really, every time I was playing, it didn't really mess up my gaming experience or anything, so I'm okay with that. But that is a negative because it might not pass the test of longevity of how long it's going to last. If you have some kids that like to break stuff, this would be pretty easy to break in my opinion. But if they take care of it a little bit, it might last a decent amount of time. The battery, like I said, lasts 2 to 3 hours, so you should be able to watch a movie on it. And the screen angles aren't fantastic. The speakers sound a little small, but do have volume. But other than that, I'm okay with this. And so, final thoughts. You could use this for a lot of things, and so it just works. And so it passes my seal of approval. There was so many bad negative comments on this about, it didn't work right. The battery drains too fast, all these things, and I haven't had a lot of those issues. It was hard for the software to get out of games, and like I said, it just hit exit and I hit return, and everything's working on this, so I can't knock it for working. And so this would be a great tool for a kid, though. If you had some kids and a little device like this, $40, you could load some movies on it. They can watch some movies. It only lasts about 2 to 3 hours, but they could definitely watch a movie on it and then charge it. You could put different movies on that SD card with no problem. You could put some music on there for them. They can listen to music on it. It has a video player, ebook reader. The music player has games on it, so they could use this and it could take up their time basically for $40. Like I said, so there is a lot of games on it that are copied. So it says it has 10,000 games, but maybe like 3,000 might be the same game in a different version or a different language or a different thing. Most of the games that I was playing were in English, but there were some that were in Chinese and things like that. So there have some issues with the game content on it, but if you're just playing the game, it doesn't really matter. So in my opinion, some people might not like that. So other than that, guys, I think, like I said, the X1 little mini game player for $40 was a cool little find. And like I said, I can't knock it for not working because mine so far has worked pretty good for me. Some people might be disappointed with the game content on there. A lot of copied games, a lot of Chinese versions of games. But if you're interested in seeing some of that stuff, like I said, you might see a game that, oh, I didn't know it was named that, and then you're like, I know that game, and so that's kind of fun to go through too. So other than that, that's all I got for this. Hopefully, this is a cool little video. I make these videos for the reason that some people, there might not be a lot of videos on this, and so at least I can explain it. At least you know what's on it, kind of what it looks like, a little bit of pros and cons on it, and maybe it'll help you make a choice if you wanted to pick one up or not. All right. Thanks, guys. That's all I got for you today. I got more handheld game items. I got DJ equipment I'm going to be going through, all kinds of other videos and tutorials coming out soon. So stay tuned to my channel, DJ Martini Midwest Reviews and Tutorials. Hit the bell notification so you know when I come out with more content, and the content is coming. So we'll see you really soon on my next video or tutorial.